Hi everyone, it's Wendy. I'm making these giant paperclip booklets today. I have loads of these strips of paper. I use them, it's offcuts when I do inserts for cards, as I make lots of cards for the charities that I support. So I end up with a folder full of them, so I thought I'll use some of them up. And I had these giant paper clips that one of my craft ladies bought me in this lovely copper colour. So I used the last two that I had of those, and I've just found another one which is purple, but it's the same size. I will have to go and buy some more because I quite like these, and they're great for putting onto your journal page, or if you read novels, you could just keep one as a bookmark, and then when anything pops into your head, you've just got some note paper to make some notes with, especially as well if you use one of my paperclip pen holders that I showed a few weeks ago. I will link that video below. So you've got your pen and your paper always at hand in your book or in your handbag. So what I used for these was Amazon packaging. This is a bag that I got something in a few weeks ago. So it's got the little pleats at the ends. So I'm going to cut this about, I think they're about 8.5 centimetres. Yeah, 8.5 centimetres wide. So I'll just quickly cut that down on my guillotine, which is here at the side of me, and it is slightly too big, so I'll have to use my scissors. So I shall cut with my scissors. Excuse the crinkling noise. Just leave that to one side, and I'll just cut the end, then I can fold it over, and then I should be able to get it into the guillotine. So I want this sort of double thickness for strength, like so, but we also need to fold it over to get the right length. Now these are again 8.5 wide by 15.5 long, so that's 31 centimeters I need from this fold. So I'll just quickly measure this on my guillotine, which is at the side of me, and I'm just going to cut that down. I'll save those pieces of paper to go in my collage folder. So this should be okay now for me to cut on the guillotine at 8.5 centimeters. Just bear with me while I do that. So that is cut there. And I'm going to put some glue along here just to glue it together, and then I shall take it, I'll decorate it first, and then I shall take it to the sewing machine to get all my zigzag stitching round the edges before I attach it to the paper clip. So I'll just glue that down. Try and hide the black from the Amazon packaging, and then fold that in half, and that should be as deep as that one is. Yeah, so I'm just going to cut that edge off. Make sure both edges are the same. I'm just going to quickly ink round it. This, I can't even tell you what the colour is of this ink now. I think it says walnut stain. Is that one of the colours of the oxides? Then I've pulled some bits out of the file at the side of me, my little plastic wallets that I keep next to my desk, just to decorate these up with. Now I've done the front and the back, then they will clip on your page either way, so you've got decoration at both sides. So what I'm going to pull out is some book page, or this is my collage folder here with all bits of papers in. There's some music paper, magazine paper. In fact, I'm going to use this as the base. Ooh, that's just gone flying on the floor. So I'm going to stick that as a base. I'm going to get rid of those words and I'm just going to use that, like that sort of edge. In fact, I'm going to make that a wee bit straighter, not rip that terribly straight. In fact, I should use a ruler. Might be a wee bit easier to rip against a ruler. Rid of those two. Get rid of that little bit on the corner. And rip that one down there. And do another piece the same. I'm going to get rid of that raggedy edge and then do that the same width, like so. Right, I'm just going to glue these down. I'll glue this one on first, then I get rid of that writing. I'm not too bothered about that up there. Any spare bits of paper I get, I just shove them in that file, and then I can just pull them out when I need a little bit like this. I'm sure well, I know most people are the same. They've got boxes and envelopes, all sorts stuffed with their scraps, and we all say we're going to keep using them, and we never do. So let's just glue that on there. Make sure the fold is okay there. Right, I'm going to decorate these up. I've got some bits I've pulled out here. Now I did do one and I decorated it upside down. So you've got to remember where your fold is, and you want it going obviously the same opposite directions. So these are bits I think from Artie Mays. So we can just get some bigger pieces as well, like these. Oops. Like so, more labels. I think these are from Tracy Fox. I don't want the reddy coloured one. Just some sort of rough idea. I think I want some cheesecloth under there. Or some sort of fabric. No, I think I like the cheesecloth better. If I can just find some. Right, I've found some yellowy or coffee dyed type here. It's a bit crinkled up, but that's fine. So I'm just trying to find a glue stick, and I'm going to stick that underneath before I glue anything on. And I want to scrunch it up anyway, so I'm not bothered that it's all creased up, like so. I'll do the same on this side. I was at my junk journal class on Thursday, and I took my sewing machine in because we were making snippets, and my sewing machine packed up part way through. It stopped zigzagging and then it packed up altogether. So I had to obviously stop working with it, and I realised I do not maintain my sewing machine, which is very, very naughty. Very naughty. And once I'd oiled, taken the presser foot off, taken the needle off. It was fine. Put some oil in. It was fine. So I was really must make a point of maintaining my sewing machine. And the other thing I did last week, I've just cleared it up now. I left this glue and it was sort of on its side, and I do keep a pin in the nozzle, and it had all leaked out. So I've just lost quite a chunk of this 3-in-1 glue, and it's still, now it seems a little bit blocked up because it's not flowing terribly freely, which is darned annoying. So I'm going to put that there. I need a long needle to poke right down. Oh, why do things go wrong when you're filming? That I think is going to be too fat. No, can't find a needle. I'm going to have to use my other glue. And when I'm sewing on fabric, gluing on fabric, I do like to use the 3-in-1. Right, let's just get some of these glued down. Then we can proceed with the, let's just ink round that. I don't like the white edges. Smush that round a wee bit. I'll find some words to go on these as well. I do like putting a few words or numbers on. Stick that cut edge under there. I need to find some other bits to put on as well, I think. I'll put some birds on like I put on the other one. A nice big one there, and another big one, and a couple of little ones. These are Artie Mae's bird toppers and fussy cuts. So I'll just glue those on. Then I'll stop the camera and take it to the sewing machine to stitch around. Let's just leave that as it is for now. I need to find some more birds. Turn that round and start gluing on it this side. Like so. And a big bird. Like so. And some of these smaller ones. Make sure they're the right way up. Stick that just under there. And I'm not sure about that one. Let's just have a butterfly or something on there. There's a yellowish label that could go under there. I've still got the journal up for sale as of when I'm filming this, which is Saturday afternoon, up for sale, that was out last week. I did have a couple of enquiries about it, but somebody was asking for my bank details, and I'm afraid I wasn't willing to give out my bank details for payment. I would rather have PayPal. So yes, that was a shame, but you really can't be too careful these days. You never know what scammers are after, trying to get your bank details or whatever. And I think PayPal is the most secure form of payment. So I've got glue on my scissors. Now I need to find a few words or phrases that are suitable. There's some in here that would be nice. Nobody's perfect. We rise by lifting others. Enjoy today and be courageous. So I'm just going to quickly ink round. Then I'm going to switch the camera off and go and do the stitching round the outside, round the edges, and I may even do a line down the centre just to secure everything. Like when I do my snippet rolls, I do down the two edges and then I do a line down the middle just to secure all the bits that I've glued on. Stick that one there. Turn this round, then the words are the right way up. We'll have that one just under the butterfly wing. Oops. Then we'll get on to doing the inside pages. I'm just going to lift that bit of cheesecloth up there and stick that just under. Right, I'm just going to go and sew this. Be back in a minute. Okay, I've done the stitching. It seems like my sewing machine still isn't working 100%. It went onto a straight stitch part way through, which is fine. It looks okay. So that's the one side and that's another side. That just needs a little bit of glue under there, I think. I did do a row of stitching right down the middle. The zigzag started working again. So I'm not sure what's the matter with it, but I will have to take it somewhere to have it a little service, I think. Right, so to the papers. These are about 3 1/4 inches, 8 centimetres. So I've got 4 pieces there, and I'm just folding them in half, making sure they're all straight. Now, you can either sew these in on the sewing machine, on the fold, but seeing as my machine's playing up a wee bit, I'm just going to put a staple in. And I need to find my little stapler because my other one's not long enough to fit in there. So let me make sure the staple's in here. Yes, there is. So once that's straight, I'm going to put a clip on, turn it over, then the fold of the staple is on the inside. Make sure this is attached. Now this line I've drawn on is where the staple actually goes, so I want to line that up. The fold on my book, I want to line up with that line. Put my magnetic holder on, put the stapler in and quick press. And the same, put another one in, put the fold on this black line, put my magnetic holder on and staple. If your staples don't go through 100%, if it's a bit thicker paper, just give it a fold down, like that one has just not gone through fully. But I'm just going to press that down and press the ends in, and that's fine. So that paper's held quite securely, and I'm just going to slide it onto the paper clip. Then if you run out of paper, you can just take it off and put some more papers in. Just slide that along to the top, and that will just slide onto your journal page like so. And you've got a little booklet to make some notes in as and when you need it. If you wanted to, you could cover all this stitching up with plain paper, but I quite like seeing the stitching, or you could decoupage it up. I don't mind seeing the ends of the stitching either. Some people tie them off, cut them off. I don't. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm leaving those at the moment. So it's decorated on both sides, so you can have it going either way onto your page. You could have it going at that side. So that is one way for me to use up my strips of paper that I cut off when I'm doing the inserts for my cards. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I'd love you to leave a comment and hope that you're a subscriber. And I shall see you next time. Bye.